In this video, I'm going to talk about Microsoft Loop. Microsoft Loop is a co-creation app which enables your team to bring all parts of the project together in one place and collaborate. Imagine a scenario whereby you're collaborating on a project and you have project files scattered across multiple places. Your project file is stored in OneDrive, SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, you have all the conversation happening, then you have some whiteboard component, then you have something done in Planner, and we have something in Word document, Excel, PowerPoint. How do we collaborate and collect all this information related to a project in one single space? Now, the answer is Microsoft Loop. Microsoft Loop helps teams and individuals bring various Microsoft 365 applications and some external applications like Jira, Trello, GitHub components in one single place for better collaboration. It's basically a new way of working which enhances productivity of your team member. Microsoft Loop allows teams to co-create the content, so you can make use of your team members skill set basically to collaborate on a specific idea, solution, or ideation process in its entirety. Team can plan and create together anywhere and can use Loop to surface the information at a common place. Now you can access the application at loop.microsoft.com, or you can access the application through the waffle menu. Now, basically, Microsoft Loop integrates with Outlook, Teams, Planner, Whiteboard, OneNote, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and many more applications. Now, in an admin center, Microsoft 365 admin center, you can enable the workspaces in Microsoft Loop for accessing various components. Now, Microsoft Loop workspaces are available either to all the users in your organization or to some specific users. Now, the scenario that use Loop is basically, I've just listed some of the items based on my experience, but there can be multiple other points as well. So the first one is brainstorming ideas. If you want to conduct a brainstorming with your team members, or maybe just like a self brainstorming, then you can make use of Microsoft Loop. Collecting status update, taking meeting notes, taking user votes, organizing your projects, question and answer with audience, tracking progress, defining task list, and many more. Now, the scenario is endless, but mostly Microsoft Loop is basically used to collate all the information of, say, project. And then it surfaces out those information and summarizes the information and present it to a wider audience. Now, the backend storage. Now, in the backend, whenever you create a loop page, a file gets created called as with an extension of .loop. Now, it all depends on how you trigger the loop component. If you trigger the loop component using a loop workspace, then the file gets stored in your backend SharePoint list, okay, SharePoint site. If you create a loop component using Microsoft Teams with a one is to one personal chat conversation, then it gets stored in OneDrive under My Files, Microsoft Teams chat files. So basically, the file extension is called as .loop. Now, this is how the sample loop page looks like. So loop has something called as a workspace. Workspace has pages in it. Pages has component. Pages has a nice looking UI and the cover page. You can share the page. You can share the workspace. You can duplicate the page. You can create and generate an ideas, and so on and so forth. Loop updates. Now, this is basically the recent update which is happening within the Loop application. So, Microsoft Loop is generally available for commercial customers on web and mobile. We can duplicate the page. We can basically make a copy of the page. If we create a page, then for better reusability, we can duplicate the page. Planner component, we can stay in sync across Planner and Loop with the Planner component. So if you have Microsoft Planner and Microsoft Planner has some task, you can uh, basically sync that task with the task for the Loop component. table of content. So if you have a nice looking page with the header component or h1 h2 tag, then you can basically create a table of content for your specific page so that user can navigate to the page in a nice and richer interface. Markdown editor has got a significant updates, so you can write markdown related components within your pages. Export to Excel. So if you have a page which has a table component, now the table component can be directly exported to Excel directly from the menu. And external app integration. Now, not only it integrates with Microsoft 365 components, but Microsoft Loop can integrate with GitHub, Jira, and Trello as well. Now, let me show you how Microsoft Loop is looks like. Basically, I'm in Microsoft.com, Microsoft Loop page. Now here you will get a whole bunch of information with regards to the recent features, the usage of the features, the purpose of the feature, how to get start using Microsoft Loop, how to use the Copilot component, how to see the notification, how to view the licensing. Those all information are nicely documented in the Microsoft Loop website. Now, in Microsoft 365 application, I showed you that if you go into Microsoft 365 application, you can find the loop component somewhere here. Okay, if you don't find the loop component, you can navigate to explore all your apps, and then here you will find a loop component. And if you click on it, it will take you to the loop page. Now, settings, if you are in Microsoft 365 admin center, and if you go to settings and org settings, then here you will see something called as Microsoft Loop. And here basically you set a permission. You say allow access to workspaces in Microsoft Loop app. So this is the first step you need to do so that your Microsoft Loop app make use of workspaces for all the users in your organization. Now in the tilebar, if you click on Microsoft Loop, then it will take you to a site called as loop.microsoft.com, and here you will be presented with all the workspaces present in your uh, tenant. Now, if you see the workspace, now the hierarchy is basically there is a workspace, and if you click on the workspace, then you will be landing in a interface whereby on the left hand side you will see all the pages. Now I can create a new page. So this is the new page. I can duplicate the page, and I can uh, share the page link. I can rename and style. So if I click on rename and style, I can basically add an icon and I can put some page. So I'll just call it as test and I'll update this. I can add a cover to make it look nice, and then I can start adding component. If I just type slash, then I can add various component like the table, I can add checklist, I can add date. Now I won't go in much depth because I have a separate video for this, but you can add a variety of component within your pages. Now again, what you can do with this, the workspace page, you can share the loop component. You can share this as an entire page as a loop component, and then you can share it with multiple users. Here also you can share the workspace, page link, and loop component. And also you can view the version history, we can view the recap, and there are some settings. Now here, if you see the shared location for this particular workspace, it will show you a list of shared location for the specific workspace as well. There is a recycle bin over here whereby you can navigate and find all the items which has been deleted. So example, if I just delete this page, then those particular items should be going into the recycle bin. And if you see the recycle bin, you can go ahead and then restore those particular pages. Ideas, you can add various ideas. As this is an ideation app, you can create multiple idea pages. Basically it's an idea page. You can select the template gallery and then pick up whatever template you want for this particular ideation. Now as you know, like if you create a new idea, then most probably this particular idea will be some sort of a brainstorming. So you need to pick up say specific template. Now if there is no brainstorming template, then you can create your own template. But I can see here I have one bad idea brainstorming template. I can use this template and then I can start my brainstorming process. So that's it folks, this is all about Microsoft Loop. You can also use loop using Teams. So if I'm a user and if I'm chatting with any of the user within my organization, there is a component called as a loop component, and I can add similar looking component within my chat. So example, if I add a voting table, and I'll just say look for best app, and then if I just type in couple of app name, and I can then share it with my colleague. I can even vote myself, and I can send this to, say, one of my colleague called as Alex Wilbur. Okay. Now let me show you how Alex will see this information. So if I navigate to Alex, then Alex should see a message that I have sent. Now this is basically now syncing, and it here I can see the items which has been added by Girish, and I can even vote for as Alex Wilbur. Okay, now that same response will be received immediately, and then I can see who all have voted for that particular uh, loop application. So that's it, folks. This is all about Microsoft Loop. I'll try to cover some of the advanced topics in the upcoming videos. Thank you.